Hello everyone, here's my predictions for the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. The trailer dropped today and I was so excited for that. It honestly felt like we were fighting a boss waiting for that timer to go down, but here is the Elden Ring website itself. A fall from grace, the land of shadow obscured by the Erdtree where goddess Marika first set foot. So we're going to be with Miquella here, which is going to be, you're going to go through the egg in Mogwyn Dynasty to get to this area. And it's a land purged in an unsung battle set ablaze by Messmerr's flame. So Messmerr being the big bad guy of this, and From Software does this a lot of the time with their DLCs. This is probably not the main bad guy in the DLC, but it's the one they're going to focus on. So Bloodborne, there's multiple different villains that you had to go through and fight. Same thing with Dark Souls 3. They didn't even show Gale in Dark Souls 3, so that just goes to show that this is probably not the main villain. There's been a lot of theories popping around that he has something to do with Rykard because there's fire, snakes, and maybe this is in a different time period since the crumbling Farum Azula is set outside of the time of Elden Ring in the base game. There's some potential here that this may be someone, maybe Rykard, but my personal theory on Messmerr, his name starts with M, and there is those three butterflies that stands for Millennia, Miquella, and I'm thinking Messmerr. A lot of people said it was Melina who lights the Erdtree on fire, but my theory is it might be actually him, and we actually see him sitting on the throne there, which is similar to the ones that are at the Erdtree base. So I think that he has something to do. He's a demigod. Now, there's a lot of great information on here. There's Miquella and the Erdtree crumbling there. And I'm going to go through some different images here. This looks really cool. This whole world is not what we've seen before. And from the sounds of it, we are getting a new map. Now, there's a quote going around through IGN about Miyazaki saying that the world is the size of Limgrave, but his quote was kind of taken out of context. It's actually going to probably be a bit larger. They said the ground area is that large, so I have a feeling that this DLC is actually going to be massive because there's a lot of different biomes here, and this doesn't look like just the size of Limgrave. Oh, I'm going to get to this one in a second. I'm excited for that. This reminds me of the villain. I forget what the name of them is, but in Bloodborne there's a enemy that you fight that's similar to this without the glow, and they give you a lot of madness. So I think that this may be something to do with the Deathblight here, and also maybe madness put together. That's not something I want to see, but we are getting the Deathblight swamp. Now this looks like some type of incantation with horns there. I'm thinking it has something to do with the omens potentially, and I think there's actually a lot to do with the Crucible and the omens in this DLC. But this here looks like it's a type of Ash War, or not an Ash War, but a spell, an incantation perhaps, that has to do with the Crucible, and I think we're getting a few others, as in the DLC video we got to see a jumping attack that the Crucible Knights do, the flying around, which is going to be incredible. I'm hoping that's an Ash War that we can swap out, or a spell, or even both, but if it's a weapon that you can only use it on, I'd hope for something different, but these are cool. These remind me of something like Studio Ghibli, another Miyazaki. It's also, I've seen a theory that this could be similar to the little tunnel guardians that are outside of the Everjails, so potentially something going along with that, which I think is actually pretty cool. But that was interesting. The image, that wasn't in the trailer, I don't believe. There was this in the trailer, though, and he's pulling the sword out of himself, and with this medallion here, it looks similar to another part of the trailer where we got to see someone in a painting and they had the same medallion. So potentially them. This is an omen. You see the horns there. Potential relation to Mog and Morgoth. But I see a lot of theories popping up about this being Sarosh, which is Godfrey's lion. Maybe when he bound the spiritual form of Sarosh to himself, this is what happened to the tiger that was attached now, or lion that was attached. I don't know exactly, but I do know it has very similar teeth to a misbegotten, so maybe some potential connection there. This is definitely a big question mark, but I think it's pretty cool. Now, Fire Giant 2.0, this is one of the coolest parts of it. I like this little mask that it has going on there. It's kind of menacing, the size of this thing. Now, when you fight the Fire Giant, that's probably one of the hardest bosses in the game. That, Malekith, and the Elden Beast are the top three, I think, most difficult bosses that are necessary to beat the game. Now, this looks like it doesn't get hurt by bleed damage, because it's inorganic, so that could potentially be something big. I just want to circle back to this here. I'm excited that we're getting like the Bone Fist from Dark Souls 2 back and being able to fight and kick. This attack looked like I did three kicks against them, so I'm actually extremely excited to see what this is all about. But yeah, the DLC looks like it's bringing a lot of great stuff, so I'm excited to see what this is all about. The Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree comes out June 21st, and I am definitely going to be getting it. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, any predictions or theories that you have, and I'll see you all in the next video.